Come closer, sit with me a while, because what I am about to tell you is the thing I spent years nearly missing, the thing that stood before everything else and waited for me to notice it. Let me take you back. It is 1933. I am in a small study in Harlem, and across from me sits a man named Abdullah, an Ethiopian, black as the night, who knew the Hebrew tongue and knew the law of consciousness as no man I ever met knew it. I had come to him with a burning desire. I wanted to go to Barbados. I had family there, I longed to see them, and I had no money. Not a little money, no money. And I sat before Abdullah, and I told him my problem, and I waited for him to tell me how the money would come. He would not tell me. Night after night I came, and night after night he refused. He would look at me and say the same impossible thing. You are in Barbados. Not you will go. Not you may go if the money comes. You are in Barbados. And I would grow frustrated because I wanted the mechanism, I wanted the plan, I wanted him to show me the road. And one night, before he sent me home, he gave me an instruction that I confess I did not understand. He told me, before you sleep tonight, go back through this day. Take every scene that displeased you, every moment that carried friction, and rewrite it in your imagination as you wished it had been. I thought he was withholding the real teaching from me. I thought he was giving me a small exercise to keep me busy while he kept the true secret for himself. He was not withholding it. He was giving it to me first. The thing I thought was the delay was the foundation. And that is exactly what I want you to understand tonight. Because the very thing you have been skipping is the thing that comes before everything else. Now let me speak to you directly, because I know why you are here. I know what your nights have looked like. You have been visualizing hard. You have been repeating your affirmations. You have been forcing images by daylight, straining to see the thing you want, holding it up in your mind and pressing on it, and then night comes, and you lie down still full of the day, still carrying the argument, still carrying the slight, the unpaid bill, the fear that came at 4 in the afternoon and never quite left, and you wonder why nothing moves. I will tell you what the trying is. The trying is the tell. Effort is a confession of disbelief. When you strain toward a thing, you are announcing with your whole body that it is not yet yours. You have been planting seed into unturned soil, and every single night as you cross over into sleep, the subconscious receives the unrevised record, the day exactly as it wounded you. Then you wake and you say, nothing happened. Something happened. It always happens. It moved in the direction of what you actually felt as you fell asleep. The law never rested. It simply gave you back the record you handed it. Let me tell you what revision did in my own life. Beyond that trip to Barbados, there was a relationship in my life that had gone hostile. A sharp exchange, words that could not be unsaid, a coldness that settled in, and rather than replay it as it had happened, which is what the untrained mind does, it runs the wound again and again. I did what Abdullah taught me. I sat in the evening and I replayed that exchange, but I rewrote it. I imagined the other person warm. I imagined the words resolved, affectionate. The whole scene turned to peace. And I did not merely picture it. I felt it as real, and I slept in that corrected version. Days later, that person behaved as though the revised scene were the only scene that had ever taken place, as though the hostility had never happened. There was no new action on my part, no apology arranged, no clever conversation. The turning point was this. I refused to let the unedited day be the last thing my consciousness held. As I wrote in The Law and the Promise, The revision of the day is of paramount importance. Now, before I go one line further, I want you to do one thing for me right now, and I want you to do it before this teaching pulls you back under. In the comments below this video, type one word. Type the word rewrite. Nothing else. Just that single word. That is all it takes. Do it now, because in 90 seconds I am going to say something that catches hold of you, and you are going to want to keep listening, and you are going to forget. So do it now. Comment the single word rewrite, and I will personally reply to you with the link. You are not doing me a favor. Understand that. You are claiming something. There is a free guide called Rewrite Tonight, and it becomes yours the moment you type that word. Let me tell you why this matters, and let me be honest with you about something, because I can see it in you. What you have learned so far tonight is real, but it is one movement of 4. There is an order to the nightly work, and most who come to this teaching are practicing one piece of it and wondering why the results will not hold. There is revision, the clearing of the day's soil, which is where we have been. There is the correction of inner speech, the silent talking beneath your thoughts that is forever instructing the subconscious. There is precise scene construction, a real scene built with specificity, not a vague and drifting picture. And there is falling asleep inside the state, the transfer, the moment consciousness actually crosses over, carrying the assumption with it. You have been doing one of these, perhaps 2, and you have wondered why the feeling fades by morning. It fades because the sequence was never completed. The subconscious received a partial instruction, and partial instructions produce partial results. That is not your failure. That is simply a law you were never shown in full. So here is what I have done for you. Before Abdullah ever taught me scenes, before affirmations, before anything else, he made me master one thing first, revision before sleep. And I have written that exact practice, the one he gave me before all the rest, into a short, free guide called Rewrite Tonight. It is not a summary of this video. It is a complete 3-minute pre-sleep revision protocol. It shows you how to choose the 3 moments from your day that are poisoning your sleep. It shows you how to revise each one until the subconscious carries a clean record into the night. And it shows you how to feel the clearing, that release that finally lets every other technique reach the deeper mind. It is the step Abdullah gave me before anything else, and it is the step everything else depends upon. It is free. It is immediate. It is the first link in the description below this video. Open it tonight, or comment the word rewrite, and I will send it to you myself. And for those of you who feel it, who already know in your bones that the clearing alone is not enough, who are ready for the full transfer, you will find it waiting the moment you open the guide. 7 nights, 4 movements, the exact order Abdullah gave it to me. But do not reach for that yet. Start with the clearing. Start tonight. So take the first link in the description and open the guide, or comment the word rewrite below. Not as a comment, as a decision. You are done lying down at night carrying the weight of an unrevised day. You are done planting seeds in soil you never cleared. Comment rewrite, or open the link, and begin where I began. Now let me give you the one thing beneath all of it, the mechanism, because I do not want you to hold a technique without understanding the law it rests upon. Reality does not bend to demand. You cannot force the outer world. You cannot command it by the strength of your wanting. Reality bends to the record the subconscious receives at the threshold of sleep. That is the whole of it. The conscious mind selects, the subconscious executes, and it executes without argument. I wrote in Feeling is the Secret that the subconscious accepts as true that which you feel as true. It does not weigh whether the feeling is justified. It does not check it against your circumstances. It receives and it objectifies. So whatever emotional record you carry across the border of sleep is impressed upon the deeper mind and in time made visible in your world. Revision is how you edit that record. Feeling is how you seal it. And the state akin to sleep, that drowsy, still, half-awake condition just before you cross over, is where the impression takes. This is why I tell you, reality bends. You are not forcing the outer world into a new shape. You are correcting the inner cause of which the outer world is only the shadow. Change the record, and the mirror has no choice. In feeling is the secret. I said it plainly. The subconscious is that which does the work. The conscious mind sets the goal. And nothing, hear me, nothing stands between you and the fulfillment of your dreams but facts. And facts are the creations of imagining. Now I want to walk you through several things I know to be true, not as a list to memorize, as truths I want us to arrive at together, because each one overturns something you have believed your whole life. Here is the first. The day is not over when it ends. You believe that once a thing has happened, it is fixed. The argument occurred, therefore it is real and permanent. The insult was spoken, therefore it stands forever. This is the belief of a man who does not yet know the law. The subconscious does not distinguish between an actual event and a vividly imagined, felt one. It cannot tell the difference. This is not a poetic flourish. This is the operating principle of the deeper mind. The events of the day are only real to the degree that you continue to dwell upon them. And so the hostile exchange I told you of, the one I rewrote until the other person conformed to the corrected version, that was not magic. That was law. I gave the subconscious a new record, and it produced a new fact, and the person before me had no choice but to play the part I had given them in imagination. So here is what you stop, and here is what you do. Stop replaying the day as it was. Stop running the wound. Before sleep, take the 3 worst moments of your day and rewrite them exactly as you wish they had gone. And this is the part that matters. Feel the relief of the corrected version, not the picture. The relief, the release in your chest when the thing that hurt has been made right. Sleep in that. Here is the second truth. Your inner talking is already commanding. You believe you manifest when you sit down and try. You believe creation is the thing you do deliberately, in the quiet, with your eyes closed. And so you overlook the truth that you are manifesting constantly, and most of it is accidental. There is a sentence running underneath your thoughts at all hours, a silent, ceaseless inner conversation, and that inner talking mirrors the activity of your consciousness, and it objectifies itself in your world. If the sentence beneath your thoughts is a sentence of lack, I cannot afford it, this always happens to me, nothing works for me, then you are, all day long, impressing lack upon the deeper mind, commanding your world to reflect exactly that. I know this intimately. In the Depression years, I was broke. Not the polite word we use, but broke in the way that empties a man. And I caught myself. I caught the inner conversations of lack running through me like a current. And I began, deliberately, to substitute the inner speech of a man already provided for. Not straining toward wealth, speaking inwardly as a man who already had it. I changed the silent talking, and the outer world, which is only crystallized inner speech, began to change with it. So here is what you do. Listen to the sentence running under your thoughts. Catch it, and refuse to let a single inner conversation of lack complete itself. The moment you hear it begin, cut it and replace it with the speech of the fulfilled wish, the words you would think naturally if the thing were already done. Here is the third truth, and this one will sting a little, because it names something you have been proud of. Effort is the proof you do not yet believe. You have thought that the harder you try, the more you want it, and the more you want it, the more likely it is to come. This is the opposite of the law. The harder you try to manifest a thing, the more loudly you announce its absence. Straining is the language of a man who does not have, and the subconscious hears the straining, not the words. An assumption, held in ease, hardens into fact. Not an assumption gripped and forced, an assumption assumed, quietly, and then rested in. I have told the story often of a man who was earning $600 a month and desired more. He did not strain for it. He did not stand in front of a mirror demanding a raise. He simply assumed the feeling of being the man who already earned the greater sum, and he slept as that man, night after night, and the raise came to him. He assumed the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and the fact conformed. So here is what you do. Stop straining. Assume the thing once, quietly, as already true, and then rest in it the way you rest in a fact you no longer question. You do not lie in bed straining to believe the sun will rise. You simply know it. Assume your desire with that same unbothered certainty. And here is the fourth truth, the one Abdullah pressed into me on the matter of Barbados. You must go to sleep in the end, not thinking about it. You believe visualizing is enough. You lie down and you watch your desire like a film playing on the inside of your eyelids. You see yourself receiving the thing, from the outside, as a spectator, and you wonder why it does not come, because you are watching it. And a man who watches a scene is a man who is not in it. Sleep is the door through which the conscious mind surrenders to the subconscious, and whatever you are being as you pass through that door is what you impress. When I desired Barbados, Abdullah would not let me picture Barbados from the outside. He would not let me see myself sailing there. He made me sleep as though I were physically there already, feeling the warmth of it, hearing it, being in it, and the ticket materialized. The means arrived that I could not have arranged and did not try to arrange. So here is what you do. Stop watching your scene like a film. Enter it, feel the solidity of it around you. What your hands would touch, what would be near you, what you would hear, and drift to sleep from within it, as a man falls asleep in his own bed, because it is real and it is yours. Now let me give you something to do tonight. Not 4 things. 1 thing, done deeply. As you lie down tonight, review your day, not to punish yourself, to find the 3 moments that carry the most friction, the ones your mind keeps returning to, worrying like a loose tooth. You know which 3 they are. You are half holding them right now as I speak. Take the first. Replay it, but replay it exactly as you wish it had happened. Resolved, warm, in your favor, and stay with it. Feel it as real, until the relief comes, until something in your body releases and the scene feels true. Do not rush past that release. That release is the seal. Then take the second and do the same. Then the third. And when the last one is clean, when all 3 have been rewritten and the friction is gone, do not get up. Do not check your phone. Do not let the day back in. Let yourself drift toward sleep, still feeling that clearing. 1 practice, done completely. That is tonight. The full version, how to choose the moments precisely, how to seal each one so it holds, the exact order Abdullah gave it to me, is written out in rewrite tonight. What I have given you here is the shape of it. The guide is the practice itself, laid out step by step, so you cannot lose your way in the dark. Now let me speak to the thing that has been quietly breaking your heart, the waiting, the silence between the assumption and the arrival. You have been reading that silence as failure, You assume, you revise, you sleep in the end, and then nothing appears the next morning and the morning after, and you conclude the law did not work for you. Let me reframe it for you, because you have misread the most important part. That silence is the interval. It is the interval of incubation. The subconscious has received your assumption and is carrying it toward form, and form takes time to gather, the way a seed takes time beneath the soil before anything breaks the surface. Feeling is the secret, and when the feeling is right, the manifestation is inevitable, not hoped for, inevitable. The delay is not denial. The delay is the law honoring the record you gave it, arranging the outer world, the people, the circumstances, the incidents, to conform to what you impressed. Every night that you revise and sleep in the end, you are not hoping. Understand this. You are remembering forward. You are recalling a thing that has already been done in the only place where things are truly done, within. So hear me now and mark this night, because I want you to return to it. When this thing you desire arrives, and it will arrive, you will look back on this exact night as the one where you finally stopped begging the mirror and simply became the man it had no choice but to reflect. You will see that it was already done the moment you sealed it in feeling. The arrival was only the shadow catching up to the substance. And there is one more thing, a hidden layer beneath everything I have told you tonight. Because once an assumption is sealed, it does something you have not yet seen. It builds its own bridge of ordinary incidents, a series of perfectly natural events to carry you from where you are to the very end you assumed. That bridge is the next door I will open for you, and it is the reason all of this works.